Hey, this is the recording for the workout of the day, making change. We're gonna create an algorithm which is supposed to calculate the number of change, just as a human being does, for any inputted number. The guidances are just general. The main points are to set the amount in pennies, think through the basic algorithm before you write the code, which I did, and you want the fewest coins, so we'll kind of go in chronological order from quarters to pennies. And we are going to write comments out first. So we have 20 minutes to do this. Hopefully I'll be able to do this in under 15. So let me start up the file and let's do it. So let's create a file, MakingChange1, new file, change algorithm .js. Okay, let's start our timer and get going. Timer doesn't want to start, so timer. $20. Okay, timer's going. Let's go. First comment. We will be creating an algorithm to give change. Let's say make change for a given amount. Okay, now let's input our amount. I will do this as a constant that will be in pennies. We'll do this as a variable. Let's use 199 because this will just be cooler to test with. And now we're going to define a function. The function will have a parameter amount in it, which we'll use later throughout our calculations in order to calculate our remainder and use it to get our number of coins. The function will be named making change. Here comes our parameter amount, and let's add a set of curly braces. So we're gonna start off by initializing variable amounts to the variables. So pretty much when we start our calculation, we have 0 of coins to give change from, because we didn't start it yet. So this is what we'll do. We will make each one of these variables, which will be our coins, equal to 0. Oh, I already did that. Then we're gonna go for quarters. That's what I forgot. Quarters. Yeah, I'm a bit tired, but I hope I don't make any serious mistakes. Okay, let's start off with the greater value. We will first calculate the number of quarters from the inputted amount and the remainder. The way we're gonna do this is I'll take the math.floor function, and we'll simply divide our amount by 25, the number of quarters. So essentially what happens in this case is we take 199, not directly, it will be further initialized when I call for the function, and we divide it by 25. So we know there is a sufficient number of quarters for it to be 175, but then we have the remainder, so we also need to kind of output that value. For this we're going to use this percentage sign, that's what's stated in the instructions, and the remainder amount will be less than 25 eventually. Next step is pretty simple. I'm just going to copy paste this for the next, I don't like how it copy pasted, for the next two variables. I started with quarters, so I believe next is nickels, which should be equal to 10. I'm just not really familiar with the naming of coins, but yeah, I think the 10-penny coin is a nickel. Okay, and then comes a dime, which should be worth 5 cents, and we put these values inside here. So essentially what happens is we take the number, we find the number of quarters, and then the remainder, which in this case will be 24, gets passed on. Then we find the number of nickels, and then that remainder gets passed on, and then we find the number of pennies, I mean not pennies, in this case dimes, which actually will be 0 for this number which I chose, and then anything that's left will pretty much be pennies. Okay, so we have our algorithm ready. One thing we need to do is to be able to use it, so we're going to just return our values. I'm going to do this through an object, a return object. Once again, we'll be pretty straightforward with this. Command C, Command V, comma. I just don't like typing. Typically just overcomplicates things, since I can make mistakes and then I'll just waste more time correcting them. So I'd rather just, actually I could have done it this way, never mind. Okay, everything's ready. Now we need to call for our function. And we will call it for the amount in pennies. I'll do this through defining a constant named change, and let's call our function making change, and we'll call this amount in pennies. Okay, so the function is called, and now we just need to log it to be able to see our result in terminal. This is also done pretty simple. Just use a basic console.log. We're gonna state the coin which we are outputting. Then we're gonna call the function. This will be actually not even the function, our variable change, which will call the function, and then our variables, or variable, and then we just need to repeat this a few more times. And the way I'll go about this is I'll copy this, I'll copy this, and I will copy this, and I will take this, and I will paste it here. So now things should be correct, and just to make everything like nicer, I'm going to capitalize these letters. Let's see how we're doing in time. Exactly 10 minutes. Exactly 10 minutes. New terminal. Okay, let's say cd, enter current directory. Okay, we're in our current directory, and let's execute our algorithm. I can't really. Oh no, I know what I can do. Here's the value. Let's test it a few times just to make sure that my algorithm works for different numbers. Okay, so it works appropriately since we have 8 quarters and 200, and just, for the sake of doing, let's try an absurd number like 18,562, just because I feel like it. Yep, it works. So my time is, never mind, we'll just say it is 11.5 minutes. My algorithm is complete. It outputs the values. Thank you.